and with both the ARC of California and Self Advocates becoming empowered. In our packets we go over 5 major topics that severely affect people with disabilities. I will go over 2 of the topics with you now. First, I will start with Social Security and SSI. Future challenges for the trust funds. By law, Social Security's trust funds must be able to pay benefits for at least the next 75 years. All policymakers must address the concerns of people with disabilities and their families. Future challenges for the trust funds. By law, Social Security's trust funds must be able to pay benefits for at least the next 75 years. Social Security is currently running a planned surplus to address the retirement and disability needs of the baby boom generation. Social Security's reserves were $2.8 trillion at the beginning of 2017. In 2017, Social Security's trustees projected that, without any changes, the combined trust funds could pay full scheduled benefits until 2034 and would then cover about 77% of scheduled benefits. The trustees project that on its own, the DI Trust Fund can pay full scheduled benefits through 2028. Congress will need to act before then to ensure that the DI Trust Fund continues to pay all promised benefits. Cuts to Social Security and SSI must be rejected. Unfortunately, cuts to Social Security and SSI benefits and eligibility have been proposed in recent years. Congress should reject proposals to cut Social Security and SSI, including proposals to cut SSI benefits, including proposals to eliminate SSI benefits for children with disabilities. Benefits and eligibility have been proposed in recent years. Congress should reject proposals to cut Social Security and SSI, including proposals to cut SSI benefits, including proposals to eliminate SSI benefits for children with disabilities. These cuts would be devastating. SSI benefits are extremely modest, averaging. These cuts would be devastating. SSI benefits are extremely modest, averaging only about $550 per month, but play a vital role in helping people meet their basic needs and disability pay for medical care and disability-related costs. SSI can make all the difference in helping a low-income family raise a child with a disability or helping an adult with a disability to live in the community. Proposals to cut SSDI for people who also receive unemployment insurance UA. Currently, people who receive SSDI have attempted to work and lose their job through no fault of their own can in many states qualify for UA. These proposals single out SSDI beneficiaries and treat them differently from all other workers under the UA program, create disincentives to work, and erode the economic security of SSDI beneficiaries and their families. Improvements needed. Many parts of the Social Security and SSI disability systems need to be strengthened to better meet the needs of people with disabilities. These include increasing the substantial gainful activity skill level for people with disabilities currently $1,180 per month to the level for people who are blind currently $1,970 per month, increasing and indexing for inflation the asset limits and income exclusions for SSI, eliminating marriage penalties for people with disabilities, eliminating the 2-year waiting period for Medicare, improving work incentives, and addressing policy issues which have a harsh impact on people eligible for OASD benefits as disabled adult children. What we recommend: Congress should reject any cuts to Social Security or SSI, including any proposals to cut benefits or limit who can qualify. Congress should request a beneficiary impact statement on any proposal to change Social Security or SSI to look beyond budgetary issues to the impact on people's daily lives. Congress should address the many areas in which improvements are needed in the Social Security and SSI disability programs. Now on to Medicaid. Medicaid is the nation's primary health insurance program for people with significant disabilities and low-income populations. The program currently covers over 10 million non-elderly people with disabilities. Medicaid per capita caps. Under a Medicaid per capita cap, the federal government would set a limit on how much to reimburse states based on the number of people enrolled in the program. Unlike current law, it is expected that a per capita cap model would not adjust for changes in the costs of providing supports and services beyond the cost growth limit. To achieve federal savings, the per capita growth amounts would be set below current spending and the projected rates of growth. Per capita caps are a significant cost shift to states. To make up the lost federal funding, states will have to consider raising state taxes or reducing eligibility, limiting disability services and supports, cutting reimbursements to providers, or taking other drastic steps. Ultimately, the health and well-being of the individuals who need support from the Medicaid program are at risk. Medicaid Block Grant. A block grant is a funding structure that provides states with a fixed amount of federal money to fund its Medicaid program. A block grant would effectively end the flexible state and federal partnership. States would be responsible for covering the costs beyond the federal allotment. Deep cuts in federal spending on Medicaid and block grants would be a cost shift to already cash-strapped states. The effect of a block grant is the same as a per capita cap proposal. Medicaid work requirements. Several states are proposing work requirements for Medicaid beneficiaries that do not promote work but would result in significant barriers to eligibility. Work requirements are a punitive condition on eligibility that does not accommodate the needs of individual Medicaid beneficiaries with and without disabilities, and provide few if any additional services or resources to create new job opportunities, improve access to affordable child care, or increase funding for job training, employer accommodations, or other employment supports. High congressional leaders have expressed interest in imposing the burdensome work requirements in the Medicaid program. what we recommend. Congress must understand that Medicaid is a necessity to people who have IDD and their families and protect the individual entitlement to Medicaid. Congress must reauthorize money follows the person MFP. Congress should reject reductions or caps to the Medicaid program and reject any effort to block grant Medicaid. Congress should not repeal the Affordable Care Act. Congress should not consider imposing work requirements in the Medicaid program. Thank you for giving me this time to speak with you.
Of course, thank you for that really good presentation. I think the Congresswoman is definitely right there with you. She is very opposed to proposals that repeal the Affordable Care Act, that propose per capita caps or block granting of Medicaid, and has voted several times, voted no on proposals that would do any of those things. Similarly, she is definitely supportive of strengthening all of the Social Security trust funds. So you definitely have a member of Congress who is right there with you on all the things you mentioned.